Right, here we are. Smiley Palace. I brought the Murky Muck this time. Aye. Brought the Murky Muck. Yes. Aye. Problem with this one compared to the other one, yeah, we're like coming around the bend to get to here. There was a car in front doing about 45 miles an hour around the bend, and I just, for goodness sake. But I've got to get past this car. There was a chance. It took me ages in this thing. Ages. Because it's automatic. It takes an age to get up to the speed. Whereas in the other one that's manual, you just drop it down at the fourth. Foot down, boom. Within no time at all, you go from 40 to 70 in a couple of seconds. So you get past any car. Whereas that one takes ages. It's like, you see cars coming towards you. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. Oh, just about. There you go. Right, this video is talking about something I sort of brushed on previously but didn't really give much on or go deep on. It is appropriate to a certain degree that I'm not out of that church. The reason why is quite simple. There's no way, shape or form, and I knew actually in that last meeting, the prayer meeting, I knew there's no way I can come under this person. When I heard him praying the way he was praying, the weak prophetic prayers that he was praying, you know, even if he'd been praying a bit stronger with maybe the suggestion of a bit of faith, which he wasn't praying with any suggestion of a bit of faith at all. Not at all. Let's say he was. He describes himself firmly as a teacher. He describes the church as a teaching church. Right, okay. Well, first of all, teaching church, well, that's just absolutely stupid. What you're basically saying as a teaching church is the level, you're keeping this church at a certain level, at a teaching level, the whole way through. So even if you're going to be there for 20 years, nobody's ever going to mature in that church because this is a teaching church. The whole point is it's teaching. Now, Bible teaching, who needs it? Those who are uneducated. Only those who are uneducated. Once you're educated, you move on to relationship with Father. That's the whole point. You move from being churchy Christian to son or daughter of God and learn to walk in that. That's how it's supposed to be. But in that church, the Anglican Community Church of God, it's a teaching church decided by the minister because he's a teacher, right? Point of it is, there's no way, shape or form I could come under him because I'm at least, what? He's basically, I said in previous video, the one I did yesterday morning, but being led by Baby Peters. Yeah. Steezy. Right. Yes. So the point of that, if he is a baby Peter, which he is, because his level of faith is so incredibly low, it's just ridiculous. And he likes to stand out there and say, look at me, aren't I wonderful? He likes to try and point out his authority. He's so insecure. Pointing out his authority is something he has to do all the time because of the fact he knows that it's hanging on a very, very thin thread and it can break at any point in time. Well, Manuel, it's already broke. You broke it on Thursday. There you go. Well, God broke it on Thursday. Yeah. No, as I say, could I come under him as a teacher? No, because I don't need a teacher. All he offers is a teacher. He's not a pastor. A pastor is someone who has compassion and empathy. That's the whole point of a pastor. A pastor is a counsellor. You know, someone who is a counsellor, someone who is empathetic, someone who you go to when things are going bad. Why would you want to go to a teacher who's just going to see everything as an opportunity to teach? Everything is an opportunity to say, look at me, aren't I wise, aren't I clever? Aren't I knowledgeable? No. I mentioned young David before. I do need to clear something up. I mentioned in the video about in that prayer meeting, Catherine and David. All it is, it's a lack of discipline. That's all it is. It's just two young people. They have things that they want to bring, things that they want to say, Christy. But they just have a lack of discipline, a lack of understanding about what these meetings are supposed to be. Where's this car coming? Is it coming up here? Stopping there. Okay. You turn it round or what? Turn it round. Okay. I turn it round, so I'm going to continue up here. Now, as I say, if you've got something to give, okay, cool. But the point of it is, a prayer meeting, the whole thing about prayer, as soon as you hear the word prayer, it's about God. It's not about you, it's about God. Who are you speaking to? God. You're not speaking to the group, you're speaking to God. It's a prayer meeting. You're coming before God. The problem is they see it as coming before each other. They really do. That's why Catherine wants to ream off a whole list of anyone who mentions anything. Basically, at the start of it, is there anything you want prayer for? So basically, they bring a shopping list. A shopping list of everyone there who puts the things that they want prayer for. Right? Okie doke. Well then, what she was doing, she was basically reading every single thing and praying for it, as if she was a person who's supposed to do that. As if that was her job. Clearly, not her job to do that. So, massively overstepping. That's one thing that could be considered. I don't really care. Because I don't think it's anyone's job to do that, because I don't think that's what a prayer meeting is supposed to be about. I don't. In a prayer meeting, you're supposed to go before God. What's on his heart? What does he want to say? Because all week, all these people that are bringing the things to God that they want prayer for, they've been bringing these things to God all week, all last week, all the week before, all the week before, all the week before. What does God want to say? Maybe there's something that God wants to say that's going to break through these prayers. The problem is you're never going to give God any time to say anything, are you? Because none of what you do, not teaching, not the Bible study, not the prayer time, none of it is about God. Even the worship is about head. It's not about heart, it's about head. That's not saying that some people aren't worshipping God. Say, look, if you want to worship God in church, Christy, but you've got to prepare. Yeah? You've got to prepare. If you're going to turn up 2 minutes before the church starts, chances are you haven't prepared. Yeah, because, yeah. I'm going to do a video about that to someone else in a second. Yeah. The reality is, folks, when it comes down to it, yeah, we've got to stop playing games. We've got to stop pretending that this is okay. We've got to stop pretending that this is enough. Clearly, it's not enough. Clearly, this isn't what we're supposed to be doing. So let's stop pretending that it is. Let's stop pretending that it's enough. Let's stop pretending that God is happy with the way things are going. If you think God is happy with the way things are going, you are massively mistaken. So, I mean, over COVID, over that period of time, you had the church, not just this church, but every church. And what I say about this church is the case of every church. It's not just this church, it's pretty much every church. Something's gone on my foot. What is going on there? Off. Something seems to be jabbing into my foot. Sort it out, I think. Yeah. No, say pretty much every church. They all have the same pattern. Which is why I've talked about in videos about the fact that God designed the flowers, he designed the trees, he designed each blade of grass to be different. Each snowflake is different. But each church has to be exactly the same. I wouldn't have made that comment, I wouldn't have said that had God not been speaking to me about it, and I wouldn't have said it had the churches not been exactly the same. It's because they are exactly the same. Yeah, that's the reality. They are exactly the same. I'm going back there this way. See, hardly any wind today. Beautiful. Yeah, slightly cloudy, so not too cold. Lovely today. Gorgeous. Yeah, don't pretend in any way, shape or form. Even before COVID, do you think you were doing well? I said I went into this particular church after a service. Asked them about it. They acted as if the pastor was basically the second coming. Not quite, but basically. Clear to that level, or, Bible, that if there was a new Bible to be written, he would be one of the people writing it because his sermons were that good. No, they weren't. I listened to one of his sermons. This was, say, about 2 or 3 years ago. And just decided, no, he took the safe road. There were two paths he could have taken. He took the safe path, which wouldn't challenge anyone. He could have taken a challenging path. No, he took the safe one. So there you go, a safe speaker. Again, not another safe speaker, Jesus Christ. But then again, as soon as I saw that, as soon as I heard that, I knew Bible college. He's been trained in Bible college. You can tell. As soon as someone takes a safe route, there you go. And when you hear the style of someone talking, the way they're speaking, what they're doing, the way they pause when they pause, the fact they hardly make any mistakes at all when they're saying, it's practiced. It's prepared. Those 4 things I've said before. Prepared, packaged, presented, sold. Yeah. But when you see that, when you've known that for so many years, you only need to hear a couple of seconds of that to recognise it for what it is. That's who he is. That's all he can do. He can't do any more than that. He was never taught to do any more than that. That's what he was taught to do, and he was taught very well to do that. Very well to do that. He's very good at it. He knows himself he's very good at that. He considers himself to be an expert in that, and he is. And that is great for if you're teaching at a certain level. If you're teaching young Christians, or if you're teaching sort of teenagers, who are ready to maybe come into a bit more of a sort of serious teaching of the Lord, he's great for that. Perfect. Absolutely spot on. That is his level, because that's those people that are uneducated in God. Anyone who's been under that teaching for, how long should you need? How long should you actually need? Really? 6 months, a year, maybe? No more than that. Well, not if that person is doing their job. Not if that person is leading and guiding you to be led by the Holy Spirit. Not if that person is helping you to understand who you are in God and who God is, then of course, no. But the problem is, when they have on their website, go and look it up. Elgin Community Church of God. Look it up. It says on their website, on Googly, a God so near church. A God so near. Where do they get that point of a God so near? Put it this way, that church, it's basically saying that God is like that tree, so near. Can I touch that tree from here? No. The problem is, he's not teaching church to walk forwards. If we learn to walk forwards, I can walk forwards and touch the tree. Basically, God's so near, the whole point of that is, as I move forward, the tree moves back. So it's always so near, yet it's always so far away. That's the point about something being so near. It's also always so far away. A God so near. It's not a God getting nearer, just a God so near. But we actually have a God that's here. Not so near, here. Now, I imagine he was the one who's responsible for that decision, that a God so near was what he wanted to use. If I'm travelling to someone's house and they say, where are you? And I say, I'm near. Does that mean I'm here? No, because when I'm here, I say I'm here. I wouldn't say I'm near. Now, that's the thing, but that's his understanding of God. That God is not here. God is not within arm's reach. Yeah, we can't attain to God. So that point that the Lord said, no one comes to the Father except through me. Well, no, he doesn't see that. He doesn't understand that. That the point is to come to the Father. Then it's not a God so near, it's a God that's right here. Isn't it? It's the God we're supposed to go to. It's like, all this point again of praying for revival. You're praying for God to bring down, but the Lord said, no one comes to the Father. We're supposed to go to him. When we go to him, we become like him. And when we come away from him, to walk as we're supposed to walk here on this terra firma place, we bring that, what he says is revival. We bring heaven down to earth. Because you can't help it. If you spend time with Father, then as you come back to this realm, you are covered in heaven. Covered in it. And so you walk it out. So when you're praying, if you understand where you are when you're praying, when you're talking to God, when you're talking to Father, if you understand that you're in the throne room, it means whenever you finish praying, you're covered in heaven. Covered, because you've just been in the throne room. If you understand that and you can walk that out, then that's how revival comes. So as I say, how can I then come under someone who is basically a childish Peter? Yeah? Put it this way, did the mature Peter even realise who he was? No, so could I come under him? Don't know. I mean, more likely, because at least he was stepping out in faith. But would he have the right to say, I have to come under him because he's above me? No. Because technically, he wouldn't be above me, would he? Not at all. If he's a Christian, then technically he would be below me because I'm not a Christian anymore. I'm a son of God, baby son of God. Yeah. Yeah. The thing of it is, for people like Manuel, for churches like the Community Church of God, God basically on Thursday said, time's up. Of course, do they realise that God said on Thursday, time's up? No, probably not. No, I don't imagine they realise that. That's the point. That's what was happening at that time. Time's up. Yeah. The reality is going to close in on them very quickly, but they have a meeting on Thursday. That's why I say in that meeting, It's very much the case where they get to choose how they move forward, if they indeed move forward. Well, the point of it is, with churches, I've done videos before about the fact there are people, trying to carry a church that's already dead. If this church on Thursday makes the wrong decision, then that church will technically, therefore, be counted as spiritually dead. No life in it at all. It's basically there. It's already on a life support machine, right? It's just a case that on Thursday, either God will turn that machine off, or he will revive that body. One or the other. Then in the end, look, what I'm going to be doing the next couple of days is praying for that church, seeking God for that church, because obviously, there are some lovely people in that church, and to a certain degree, they need to actually move forward. But they can't move forward doing things exactly the way they were before, because that's not moving forward, that's staying where you are. People seem to think that if you keep doing what you were doing before, you're moving forwards. No, you're staying exactly where you are. You're not doing anything different. Therefore, you won't see any change. You've got to change to see change. Right? Yeah. Anyway, there you go. I'm going to leave you to it. That'll do for now. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.